Here we go. Final seconds.
Clutch is his name. Talking sports is his game.
End zone. Touchdown with no time left.
Pushing the limits.
They win on the last play of the ball game.
There are no limits.
Are you kidding?
Who can you count on to make the last throw or shot?
Wow, and the game is over.
Mikey Clutch. This is the final play.
Unbelievable.
We're back. We are back. Hopefully you can see and hear us. Still trying to work on this live stream. But today, it's Monday, wild weekend
Clutch is his name.
in
Talking
the
sports
NFL world. All right. Got Justin Mathews joining me today. What's up, Justin?
What's going on, man?
Good to have you back. Great weekend, wild weekend, as I said. So, we'll get into all the great games. Well, not every single great game, but the ones that were in prime time did not disappoint. That was probably our best prime time slate: Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and hopefully tonight's the same. But yeah, Seahawks, Rams, wild comeback for the Seahawks. We got the Bears. Crazy comeback win, and then obviously last night with the Patriots and the Ravens, and then we'll touch on the Niners and Colts for tonight. And then I don't know, this draft class from last year, QB draft class, I mean, I would say off to a historic start, but we'll get into that towards the end of the show. But I wanted to start with the Thursday night game, because I know it probably feels like that was 2 weeks ago. But we can't forget that was, we did a show Thursday, so that's the last I got to preview it, but crazy finish there. Probably one of the weirdest 2-point conversions I've ever seen, where it was an incomplete pass, ruled an incomplete pass. But Charbonnet, I mean, just kind of going to grab the ball to give it to the ref, but kind of lucked out because it ended up being a lateral fumble into the end zone. And because Charbonnet clearly picked it up, it was deemed a successful attempt. So yeah, I thought that was kind of crazy. Darnold looking like the Sam Darnold that we're used to seeing in big moments and in big games where it matters. And he was able to shake it off, stay in it. Gritty performance. He throws that interception where you think that's the second one where you think that's going to be it. That's game over. Rams about to lock it up. But that Seattle defense, probably number 2, right behind the Houston defense, force a 3 and out. Rashid Shaheed, the reason why you kind of traded for him, he's just such a big play threat, even in the punt return game. Returns it, 2-point conversion. Rest is history, goes to OT. I don't know. Were you able to catch that game on Thursday?
No, no, I was actually pretty busy. But from what I could tell, that was the game of the year, man. High scoring, going down to the wire, division rivals, prime time. So it had all the makings of a all-time matchup, and that's what it turned out to be. Yeah, that 2-point conversion at the end, that was crazy. I think like a lot of people, I've never seen that. But after they reviewed it and you got to see, I think they got the call right. And Seattle, they fought all the way to the end, and they was able to pull it out by a point. So I think it was a good game, like I said. But I don't know, man. I still it had big repercussions, obviously. I know the Rams wish they could have that one back, but I think if they end up facing off in the playoffs, I would still take the Rams. I think the Rams are still solid. It's just, division rivals, you get games like that. But I think the Rams still in good shape.
Yeah, and not having Devontae Adams in the red zone was felt.
Exactly.
A couple red zone, and they got stopped and had to kick field goals. So usually Devontae's the guy, inside the 10-yard line. It's almost 9 times out of 10 he's going to score a touchdown. So that definitely hurt him a little bit. I do kind of agree with you. If they do find each other in the playoffs, I think Rams probably take that one. But what a game. I mean, it was just so fun. Puka just looked like he could not be stopped. They stopped going to him for a little bit, but man, 225 yards, that 41-yard touchdown in overtime, and he just couldn't be stopped. And that's just been him and JSN all year, right? That was kind of cool to see those two go at it. JSN came on later and had that big touchdown at the end of the game. So, man, yeah, I mean, if we get that in the playoffs again, I think it's going to be a great match, because the first time around, Darnold throws the 4 picks. It was still a 2-point game. They had the chance. They just missed that 61-yarder to win it against LA. But Stafford, probably the best game for a quarterback to lose. Stat-wise, he had that over 450 yards, through those touchdowns. And, I mean, he, again, with a no-looker, getting it in there. He's, I don't know, man. With him and McVay, such a match made in heaven right there, because I just love what those two do together. It's nice.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it is about this year. I don't know if it's because Puka is kind of breaking out even more. I mean, he was already a superstar, but I don't know why this the best Matthew Stafford has ever looked. Like I said, I got him for MVP. I hope he win MVP. I think he deserves it. Man, he looks amazing. He looks amazing. Top 5 quarterback, I would say.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Like, and now with that game, a lot of implications for the playoffs, because Rams losing that, they dropped the number 1 seed to Seattle, which we'll get into, how that conference is going to look these next 2 weeks, because we'll go right into it with Chicago now coming back in the fourth quarter. Before I like even touch on it, I want to hear, like, from an actual Bears fan perspective. Yeah. Actual Bears fan perspective. Like, what emotions were you going through in that fourth quarter?
Man, it got to a point. It got so late in the game. I don't think no Bears fan thought we was going to pull it out. I forget what the score was, but it was so late in the game, and I'm like, man, it's over with. I was ready to concede that Green Bay just a better team this year. We still gotta end, because it was kind of like demoralizing, because I'm like, man, you don't wish nobody get injured, but they got a backup quarterback in. They players getting injured left and right. They already got no Michael Parsons. I'm like, man, we shouldn't be struggling like this. But a big key thing was how long they kept the ball. And it seemed like the clock ran down quick. The quarters, it was just, man, they kept possession of the ball for I don't know exactly what it was, but way longer than we did. And yeah, just the emotions of that game, man. That win, that's probably the best win I could remember in a long time. Like, that's really, man. Like I said, I think that Philly game was like, that game was a staple as far as, like, us having an identity. Like, this is the kind of team we are. We're gonna run the ball, be physical. This win was like franchise changing. Like, Caleb, like, you got to believe in him now.
Yeah, I
think just seeing that, for us to beat Green Bay in prime time at home, and the way that it happened, I mean, just, man, that oh my goodness, that 45-yard bomb at the end. I mean, just the whole sequence to it was amazing, and that's what you want to see, especially in this year. And I feel like you just see him growing from the entire year.
Yeah, like
you and me had that issue with him with overthrowing and just sometimes he just being inaccurate, but I can honestly say the past 2 weeks, I ain't seen not one inaccurate pass. He had one pass that was thrown behind DJ, and DJ caught it. So that was it. No overthrows. Nothing. And I was like, man, if we lose this game, that's on coaching. That's on coaching. Because it's not like you can't point to nobody playing bad. It was coaching and us just not having the ball. Green Bay had a game plan. They executed it great. They kept running the ball. They were successful doing that. Their backup quarterback came in. They started running with him a little bit, and they just, man, I mean, they had a hell of a game plan. So I was ready to put that on that L on the coaching staff. But lo and behold, man, they pulled it out at the end. And, yeah, man, just a great franchise change and win. I mean, man, the confidence is there. Man, it's getting real, man. It's getting real. It feels good.
Yeah, and obviously beating the Green Bay Packers is huge because you guys have kind of been the little brother to them all these years. And, you know, it's unfortunate. This is now the second straight year where the Bears get the win against Green Bay. It's in Chicago, and Malik Willis again has to come in the second quarter to kind of help the back. But, you know, before I get into the Bears, Malik Willis definitely kind of threw the Bears defense off a little bit, being able to run because they were running plays that they don't run with Love. So that kind of threw the Bears off. And, you know, he 9 for 11, but that's the thing with Malik, that one throw to Dobbs for the touchdown. When he threw that, that's when I was like, oh yeah, Bears, it's out of reach. I don't think they're going to be able to score. And if Malik Willis is going to be making throws like that with the wind, the way the wind was whipping around, I was just like, man, that's going to be a tough loss for Bears fans and that team to really need this win this week to kind of lock their playoff chances alive or keep them alive. But then you go to Caleb, right? 3 for 8 on the field goal drive. But two big runs with his legs. You know, I think it was 3rd and 10. He got the 9 yards, and then the next play got the 12 yards. Kind of inaccurate that drive, but after the onside kick, going 6 for 8, and I think by far his best drive of the year for that touchdown to tie it, to send it overtime, because he was so poised. This is kind of what the number 1 draft pick, like, finally he made me a believer after this game. I thought with you know, the stakes that this game had, how, you know, biggest division rival, this is potentially for the division, lock it up, you're still keeping yourself alive for the number 1 seed with all those things in play, and Caleb delivered. And yeah, that throw to DJ Moore and that play call to fuck it, go for it, sling it, and throw it a touchdown just was amazing. And yeah, I mean, Ben Johnson gets his first dub against the Packers. I kind of said it on Thursday, like, this is, I mean, I said it 2 weeks prior to when they played, but I mean, this is what he's brought to Chicago for. You don't want to just be a good team. You have to beat this division rival that, you know, you just haven't seemed to beat on a consistent basis in so long. So, because yeah, I mean, when you go from Favre to Rodgers to Love, that's tough. And with all the QB turnover the Bears had, it seems like that is finally going to end when you got Caleb Williams playing the way he is. And I'll touch on him a little more later too when we go over the draft class from last year, because these guys are all balling. And my last question before we get into the other rookie, or not rookie, but the other second-year quarterback, is this season, no matter what now with the outcome, the Bears make the playoffs, even if they lose in the first round, is the season's got to be a success, right?
Yes.
There's no way that it isn't.
It was a success when we, I'll probably say around the E game is when you just knew, you could see like the trajectory of how the team's going. Success isn't the playoffs. It's not 10 wins. Success is Caleb the quarterback and it's Ben Johnson the coach. I say around that time we figured around that Eagles, Steelers, around that area. He can coach, man. He can coach.
He definitely can coach.
If you look even to last year as bad as we was, Caleb was still kind of doing the same thing. It was just with bad coaching and a terrible offensive line. This year too, I mean, yeah, this is what it's supposed to look like, and you can see him getting better, passing wise. He been, these fourth quarter comebacks all year. Of course, you don't want to get in that situation, but I mean, it feels good to know that if it come down to that, he can get it done.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So we've literally seen, I think, a superstar in the making. We're seeing improvement every week. We're seeing this team come together, and it's good to see. So yeah, I mean, if we don't make the playoff, we clinched.
Well, yeah, you already locked it up with Detroit losing.
I mean, so even if we didn't make the playoffs, I mean, just knowing that we got, because it's been so bad and so long. I mean, just knowing that we got the guys, man, it's success. So it's looking good.
It's looking real good.
We'll see how far they go.
We'll see how far they go, but I want to get into the AFC a little bit because last night, another fourth quarter comeback. Drake May. I mean, I just, that quarterback class from last year, again, we're going to talk about it at the end. I'm not going to, I'll just tease it again for the second time. But, being down, yes, Lamar Jackson goes out. Tyler Huntley comes in. Huntley, again, like Malik Willis, didn't play bad. But the Ravens blowing another fourth quarter double-digit lead. I think they have the most since, I think it was 2022, 2021. But that's just a common theme for them. But the Patriots losing guys, Henderson goes out, and May is just throwing dots at the end of the game. There's a beautiful pass to Williams for them to take that lead. And I just thought what they did was, Vrabel. It's another one of those things, like why he was even not considered a head coaching candidate last year and was basically helping out the Browns as a I forgot what they were calling him, but he was just helping out in the background for the Browns, a consultant. He was a consultant. And now he is, and now he's,
I thought he was just out of football.
No, he was helping out on a limited basis, but you're 12-3 now. You're 7-0 on the road. This defense plays really well, and they may bend a little bit, but they can make some stops. And of course, after last week dropping that game to the division Bills, you kind of shored up the division title here, because I think even if they were to lose one of the last two games, they still have it based on tiebreakers. But I think Buffalo's going to win out. So they kind of had to win this one because this was probably their biggest test for the last 2 weeks. But man, he's just been fun to watch too, Drake May, this year. And just the accuracy, like he's the youngest quarterback to be leading the league in completion percentage now. I don't know. There's a lot to like from him and the Patriots.
Yeah, they my thing with the Patriots, I feel like and I don't want to take nothing away from them, because I feel like they are legit. I feel like Drake May is legit. The defense is legit. That coach is obviously legit. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't make a deep playoff run this year. I feel like they haven't really faced the turmoil that some other teams have faced. Obviously, they got that last place schedule, so they got a lighter schedule. But when the AFC got some good teams. Those teams is, I like that the AFC way better than the NFC, like teams wise. NFC kind of top heavy, but that the AFC, through and through. I could see a scenario in which probably any team that they'll face could probably beat them. Houston, Denver. Hell, after last night, even Jacksonville, I could see it.
Jacksonville's a surprise. The way that Lawrence has been so inconsistent, and this is definitely by far his best year. And Cohen might be a real deal. Like some of these new coaches that came in this year are really doing a great job on his team. So
that's another good coach. But I don't feel like they really been battle tested enough. and I'm interested to see how they fare in the playoffs against these upper echelon teams. So, great win last night. Like you said, Drake May leading the league in completion percentage, year 2. That's amazing. And I feel like they the real deal. It just may be a year too early. Maybe not. I may be wrong. They may because who knows? But
right. Now that the Chiefs are out of the AFC, it's like anything can happen with any of these
Bills
teams.
Number, they same division, so they ain't. I don't feel like they fear the Bills or nothing. Or we'll see. But I'm just interested to see how they perform against better competition.
Yeah, no, for sure. And obviously having split with the Bills is big. But to me, right now, even though the Bills aren't, top seed, they might not win the division. They're, to me, the scariest team in the AFC just because you do have Josh Allen having another MVP-like season. And I don't know, man. It just seems like no matter what, you got to be up like 30 points in the fourth quarter for me to be, ruling them out of the game, because the way he's taking over these games and just the last few weeks, they're really getting going. And I don't know, man. It looks like they're catching the momentum train at the right time, right before the playoffs to, hey, they don't have to face the Chiefs in the playoffs. It might be them in the Super Bowl this year. Open season, right. But, both of our teams clinched yesterday because Detroit could not complete their comeback against the Aaron Rodgers-led Pittsburgh Steelers. So Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin locked it in. Another season where he won't have a losing record, which is mind-blowing to me with the quarterback play.
19 seasons.
It's just crazy, right? Like that many straight seasons where even the quarterback play has been iffy, and he's still not having a losing record. But Aaron Rodgers, hey, could have a division title. It's not a sure thing yet because they have to take care of business against the Browns next week, and then they got Ravens. Who knows what Lamar, if he's going to be in or out in Week 18? But Ravens slim playoff hopes. But I don't know. I think Pittsburgh's going to lock it up next week, and I just think the way Rodgers has been playing this year, very impressive because of how bleak it looked in New York. And obviously that's due to the coaching staff he had, but he picked that coaching staff. So I kind of put the blame mostly on him. But hey, going to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have that tradition, have the history, and have Tomlin, who just knows how to coach guys. It's really cool to see that Rodgers is going to be able to at least get a playoff game in his final season. But other than your Bears, the other team that locked in the playoffs yesterday from that Detroit loss, 49ers, playing tonight against the Colts in Indy, where I just came from. I didn't even think of it. Could have probably stayed out there for that game and went to Lucas Oil to go see it, but back home in Chicago, rather watch it on my TV anyway, probably better seats, front row. But Niners, just like your Bears, very slim chance to get the number 1 seed. I think our game next week, Bears-Niners, Sunday Night Football, that's the biggest Niners-Bears matchup in my lifetime.
In recent years, for sure.
And it's just been so nice that the Niners have been able to catch the Bears. It feels like 4 seasons in a row now, 3 seasons. But I don't know. That just has a lot at stake. Because if the Niners can win against the Colts tonight, next week, winner, potential for the number 1 seed. I know I'm getting ahead of myself because the Niners have the Seahawks in Week 18, and then the Bears have the Lions. But in order for us both to keep the number 1 seed alive for either team, have to win next week. But we'll start with Monday night tonight because the Niners do play the Colts, and Phillip Rivers, second game from coming out of retirement. didn't look all that great against Seattle, but they still had a chance to win on a game-winning field goal last week against Seattle. So I think the defense is going to be able to kind of keep them in. They're going to be without their offensive tackle, Bernard Raymond, and then there's no Ricky Pearsall because his knee, he re-injured it last week. But the biggest question mark, DeForest Buckner, questionable, might come back. He's been out since they played Pittsburgh. So if he's back, I mean, without him, the last 3 out of 5 games, they've given up a 70-yard plus rusher. I think gave up Kareem Hunt 100 yards when the Chiefs all year had no running game. But Buckner, when he was in the lineup, they only allowed 2 rushers over 70 plus in the 9 games that he played this year. So that's a huge win when you got Christian McCaffrey, who's having a 1,000 rush, 1,000 receiving yard season potential so far this year. So I don't know. That's the only guy who scares me for their defense because of the injuries. Sauce Gardner's been out for the rest of the season on IR. But we'll see. I mean, I think it might be a defensive battle if the Niners offense that is hot right now can't get things going. I think that's worst case scenario for the Niners if that defense is allowing Phillip Rivers just to be a good game manager throughout the game.
Where's it played at?
It's in Indy.
It's in Indy. Yeah, I think y'all ride the momentum from the Titans game. Beat up on a bad team. Indy, I think they just they, like you said, Sauce out. DeForest is questionable. They banged up. It's a nice story. Yeah, we want to see Phillip Rivers come back and just for the sake of a nice story and watching some football. But yeah, I don't think Phillip Rivers scares anybody. We'll see what they can do with the run game. I think they try to get that going tonight. I will say, excuse me, Phillip is he getting the ball out real quick. He's not. I mean, it was his first game back in 5 years, so against
right, and only having like a few days to practice, right?
Yeah, so you weren't expecting too much from him, but I mean that's a big takeaway that I got from seeing that. And he doesn't, look. He wasn't being hit too much. The O-line protected him, so that was good to see. But I don't think I can't see Indy winning this game even at home. Like I said, I think y'all ride the momentum. Christian McCaffrey is playing good. Hopefully he stays healthy. I think it's just too much talent on y'all side of the ball. The Colts, man, they banged up. They banged up playing with a older quarterback. I think y'all got this game. Not this. Yeah.
I mean, the way that offense has been playing. I mean, last week they scored 7 of 8 drives. The only drive they didn't is they fumbled, but it was against Tennessee. But on this 4-game winning streak, they've been really putting the defense. Robert Saleh, I have to mention it every pod. He is coaching his ass off for that defense, with a defense that has so many guys in IR and so many of the top players on that team on IR and have been out, and they are still crushing teams. I mean, the last 4 games, they've given up about 8 points in the first half per game. That's crazy to me. And yeah, the talent offensively on the teams they face, not that great, but that's just still telling when you have all those injuries that those guys are still ready to play and prepared. And really, teams are only scoring in the fourth quarter when the game's basically out of reach. But I don't know, man. He is, to me, if you can give a Coach of the Year award to a coordinator, he'd be my Coordinator of the Year award winner. And then, Coach of the Year, Shanahan definitely may not be the Coach of the Year. If they were to somehow win out and take that 1 seed, I think he would have to be the favorite because I do think Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen from Jacksonville, Mike Vrabel, and even Sean Payton, right? Talking about the top teams in the league. But the Bears, I think Ben Johnson has the strongest case just because of, you were last in the division last year, and you're potentially going to be a 12-win team to a 13-win team winning that division. So I think Ben Johnson probably should be the favorite. But yeah, Shanahan, hell of a job with getting Saleh back. And I kind of been hoping that Miami finally fires Mike McDaniel, so that way he comes back and coordinates with Shanahan again. But I think these Niners, they should take care of business tonight. Again, it's the NFL. Anything can happen week to week. But I just think this Niners offense is a little bit more, just more successful against teams than, Seattle's offense last week, who they didn't put up many points. And I think it'll be hard for Phillip Rivers to kind of stay in this game. And the only way I can see them, unless Rivers just has an amazing game, which I really don't see possible, but Jonathan Taylor.
That's what I was gonna say. If they're gonna kill y'all, it's gonna be him going off for
three touchdowns, 200 yards. So that really would be my only worry about offense for them, because Jonathan Taylor's just been such a beast and has not had that big touchdown game in a few weeks now. So I'm still gonna go Niners. I still gotta go to Niners tonight, like you.
For sure. Be confident, man. Y'all got that.
All right. Finally, let's wrap it up. The 2024 quarterback draft class. I mean, these first two seasons with these guys. Now, some guys have been hurt this year. Some guys were hurt last year. But let's start. Number 1 pick, Caleb Williams. Tough rookie year, but a lot of that was the coaching. Didn't really have a good staff behind him. The offensive line was, worse than it is this year. Now, pass blocking maybe still not that great this year, but year 2, 11 wins so far. He is the only other quarterback. Well, him and Bo Nix are the only 2 quarterbacks to play every game both seasons. So him and Nix to me are like right here. As far as just the availability and winning, but number 2 pick, Jaden Daniels, 12 wins last year, made it to the conference championship, lost to the Eagles. He's been in and out with injuries this year. So I don't really knock him play wise because of the injuries, just wasn't good to go. Number 3 pick, Drake May, concussion last year, in and out with injuries. But this year, full season, 12 wins already, potential division winner. So you can't really knock him for rookie season. Right. The next 2, the 8th pick, Michael Penix Jr., and the 10th pick, J.J. McCarthy, both, McCarthy, no games last year, was out for the year. This year, in and out with injuries. Penix came in late last year to relieve Cousins, in and out with injuries this year. So those 2 kind of get an incomplete, but flashes, moments that they get. McCarthy was kind of coming along the last 2 games before he got hurt again. So he just might be injury prone. And then finally, pick 12, Bo Nix, just mentioned, 11-6 last year, made the playoffs. This year, 12 wins, still in play for the division or the number 1 seed. Sorry, they kind of locked that. Well, not locked it up. I'm sorry, because they still play the Chargers next week, which could flip it. Or no, not next week. Sorry, they play the Chiefs next week. They play the Chargers week 18. So that, could be division. But those 2 right there, right? Nix and Caleb, because they are the 2 most consistent. It's kind of crazy. If I were to tell you quarterback comebacks this year between the 3 guys that have played every game, how many would you say between them all? In the fourth quarter comeback.
Between, say it again?
So between Caleb, Bo Nix, and Drake May, how many fourth quarter comeback victories this year combined?
This year?
Mm-hmm.
I think Caleb got 4, maybe 6. I'm gonna go 7.
13.
6 or 7.
13.
Damn.
So Caleb wrapped up his 6th against Green Bay, Bo Nix 5, and then Drake May got his 2nd last night against the Ravens. But to me, that's insane, right? Like this is already a historic. Right?
Bo was doing it, yeah.
Yeah, well, Bo, he had the biggest comeback, I think, what was it, against the Giants?
Yeah.
That one was amazing, but that just seems like the Bears and the Broncos, to me, that would be an interesting Super Bowl because you got both teams that have just had to fight back every fourth quarter. And I don't know. I just thought that was a crazy stat. 13 between the 3 of them, and I know that Nix and Caleb have the bulk of them. But I mean, it's already off to a historic start between last year's finish with Daniels and Nix, and now this year with Caleb, May, and Bo Nix. Now, all 3 could be division winners. That hasn't been decided yet, but all 3 will be a top 2, a number 1, number 2, or maybe a number 3 seed, depending on how this all finishes out. But they all have potential to be 1-2 seeds, which is kind of crazy. And the amount of wins that they all had double-digit wins already. So it's crazy that draft class, and hopefully Jaden Daniels gets healthy and doesn't miss time next year, because I think he's probably the 4th one, because Penix and McCarthy just haven't, I don't know, the consistency isn't there between those 2. But they show flashes in some games, and so jury's still out on them, but they just need to stay healthy, which haven't been able to see. But yeah, thought that was crazy. Thanks for joining. Anything you want to say before we leave?
Yeah, I agree. For the most part with all of that. Who do you think is the best
out of those? Out of the 3 from this year?
Out of that class, give me your top 3 from that class in order.
Man, I might have to go Drake May, Caleb, Bo.
You think Bo better than Jaden?
Oh, well, if I'm putting injuries in account, and I'm going to start a franchise today if I'm going to redraft that class.
Yeah.
Just because of the style of Jaden Daniels.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Bo Nix would be the safer pick.
Okay.
I mean, if you're just going straight talent, I'm probably still going. Then I'll go May, Caleb, Jaden, Bo, and then Penix, McCarthy.
I don't think Drake is more talented than Caleb. I like.
Well, you know me. I like an accurate quarterback.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I mean, yeah, because he definitely, man, he can throw the hell out the ball. I'm okay with May being number 1. I don't wish that we drafted May. I don't wish it turned out any different.
Right.
I'm gonna live and die with the fingernails. Pain. You know, well, I love Caleb. But I can agree with that. Drake May is really elite throwing the football. That's a great reason to put Jaden 3rd. Because he ain't gonna be 40 something running like that still.
Right.
So I agree with that with those rankings. Bo Nix, he played great last week. I think he's got a lot of room to improve. I think he will improve. I actually think they could win a Super Bowl this year.
Denver, the way they're constructed, yeah.
I think it'll either be them or Buffalo, because that defense is amazing. And I know it's year 2, Bo Nix, but man, like just the way he played last week, if he could just show some consistency doing that in the playoffs, he don't got to be elite for them to win the Super Bowl. I think he just got to, man, play decent enough football, not turn the ball over, make some plays when it's needed, because the defense gonna carry you. So, man, that and coaching, I think, yeah. So I really, I think the Broncos could possibly win it this year. So, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. That AFC is gonna be kind of fun to see how that plays out. I'm still, like I said earlier, what's up?
People were saying Man, they was talking about Jaden. Jaden should have been number one. The Bears did it again. They took the wrong quarterback, and I was thinking it's like even after last year, before the season, all of that, I was like, nobody in Chicago feels like we took the wrong guy.
Right.
I mean, you could see Caleb talent last year. It's just, man, it's bad coaches. So I think, but he's really talented too. He just got to come back healthy, and we'll see how Washington looks next year. But I think they're gonna need to add some pieces too, because you see how they look without him. I mean, he clearly elevated the entire franchise to the NFC Championship. So, man, they're gonna need to get him some more help too. Definitely add some pieces to that defense, because that defense trash. We saw that the night before last night, so 2 days ago. So yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, they definitely need to get him a little more help. And he's just that style. Like Caleb runs, but I mean, he's just been so effective with his legs. And you know, Drake May too. He's all these quarterbacks, if you think about it, really do use their legs well. Obviously maybe not Penix to out of all the first rounders from last year, but for like most definitely Bo Nix, Caleb, Drake, and Jaden are extremely effective with their legs. As you know, that's why I think I kind of took May at number one, because he's such a good thrower, but he also can run and is just a really good dual threat. But I mean, Caleb, he just makes when it boils down to needing a play, he does make it. And that's exactly what he did in the fourth quarter in overtime. So, hey, you got to feel good being a Bears fan. I know I'm feeling good as a Niners fan, especially how the year started. But we'll see how tonight goes. And then we'll be back this weekend with another pod. But that's going to do it for me. It's going to do it for Justin. Thanks for listening to The Final Play. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, The Final Play with Mikey Clutch. And you can follow me on TikTok, X, YouTube, and Instagram at TFP Mikey Clutch. Enjoy
my boy
the Monday night. Have a good one, Justin.
Later, man.